What can you tell us about what you're working on there?
Yeah, so thanks for having me today. And we are playing a significant role in supporting the governmental response actually around the world. In the U.S., we'll play a role in both the manufacture of therapeutics as well as vaccines. And we did have an arrangement with BARDA, which is really working on the vaccine to use our sterile fill finish capacity to produce the final form of whichever vaccine is successful. It's one of the activities that we do anticipate playing a major role in.
So is it right that there will be enough supply when we're ready, whoever gets to the finish line first, to get all Americans that want to be vaccinated?
I think that the actual strategy for who gets vaccinated in what order is something that the government will work on, and we'll play our role, which is usually the fill and finish of the product, to help ramp up, I'm sure, as will others. And I assume that there'll be a methodical ramp up of capacity over time so that it gets rolled out to the right parts of the population over time. So I'm sure there's going to be a very high level of demand when a vaccine or multiple vaccines are successful, and there'll be a period of time for the industry to respond to meet that need.
How closely, Mark, are you in touch with the different vaccines in progress? And has there been anything in the last month that has changed the calendar of when it will be widely available to an entire nation? I mean, clearly the market moves aggressively on just the smallest bit of news, but are we still talking about not widely available until early next year?
We're working on 200 projects with biotech and pharmaceutical companies specifically related to COVID, right? And what will be determined is which ones of these are ultimately effective, and then the scale up, right? So when we look at time frame, we've planned for everything from this fall into 2021, right? Not knowing when the clinical results of a product is going to be successful. So we're really prepared for a wide range of scenarios, and it would be great if it's sooner than later, obviously.
On your results today, the growth numbers were better than expected, fueled by that life sciences solutions segment. What was the organic growth there? 55%. Was that testing demand? What are you seeing there?
Yeah, it really was driven by our role in testing. And, we are, the largest of the manufacturers of the COVID-19 testing around the world. And we were able to very aggressively ramp up our production so that we ended the quarter actually with the capacity to produce more than 10 million kits a week for COVID-19 tests, and really, ship tens of millions of tests during the quarter to help, society respond to the pandemic and ultimately understand whether a person has COVID-19 or not. So we really were very rapid in getting the regulatory approvals in March and scaled up to meet, incredible demand. And we continue to scale up because the demand looks strong, and we would expect in the third quarter, which we're obviously in right now, to be very similar to the previous quarter, and anticipate growing roughly 15% organically this quarter.
Mark, is the benefit from testing reduced by long wait times to get the results back? And is there any hope, given that we're expecting demand for tests to increase as we approach the fall, is there any hope that those response times to get the results could fall significantly rather than typically people waiting 5, 6, 7 days?
Yeah, so what we're doing is working with our laboratory customers to help them scale up their capacity to meet the surge in demand. And, when you look back over the last several months, there have been periods of time where actually the response times were, within 48 hours, which is terrific. And right now it's more extended, and we're working very diligently with our customers to help them increase their capacity so that they can get back to a more rapid response time. And I'm optimistic that that can happen.
What about the ultimate rapid test? I think you make one, Abbott makes one, that where you get sort of immediate-ish results. Why are those so hard to get? I mean, I can't find one. I know a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, so in the role that we play, we really have scaled the laboratory-based tests because you can run on a single time 384 samples at a time, so you get incredible volumes, where with the rapid test, which might be very local and could be convenient, you're doing one at a time, and it's been hard, I think, for the industry to scale that up. But it's not a place that we play in a significant fashion. Really, we've played the role in helping laboratories scale up their testing for them to be able to determine whether somebody actually has the virus at this moment in time.
Finally, Mark, I wanted to ask about what you're doing on food packaging. I think you're doing some interesting work there, testing to try to keep that supply chain healthy. Why are you working on this now when we can't actually even get testing right for the population? And what we're told is that food hasn't been a huge risk when it comes to consuming something that's maybe been touched by COVID-19.
Yeah, so we're helping our customers with different applications, right, around back to life, which everything from helping universities do testing for students of asymptomatic patients to the travel industry, but also some of the manufacturers that want to be able to make sure that their products and services are safe, and kind of environmental testing, if you will. So we're helping our customers with our technologies for different applications so that we can get the economy growing at a more aggressive rate. And we're applying technologies to many different ways to play a role there.
Mark Hasper, thanks for joining us. Definitely keep us posted on the vaccine front.